Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this Transport Fever 2 series, we're on a mission to deliver every product to every city, building the ultimate transport empire along the way. From trains to trucks, planes to ships. We're optimising every route to make sure no city is left without the goods it needs. So get your cup of tea ready and settle in for another action-packed episode of non-stop logistics. Let's get going. In today's episode, we're going to start off by increasing the capacity on this main line. As you can see here, this station, the main cargo station here, has over 500 products, nearer to 600 or just over. Down here at Padstow, the main cargo hub here, has a few hundred products waiting. And also now up at the new northern cargo hub up here, you can see here, we're also starting to build up a lot. We do only have the 3 trains on here, so I'm just going to simply sort this out by adding a train to the line. Everything is working, it's just we need a lot more sort of delivery capability. One thing I have done is just before I fired up the recording for this episode, is I noticed we had another machines factory up here just outside Hetton. So I've just added in a truck route here to hopefully get some more machines onto the main line to send back down south. So the main purpose of this episode now is going to be what we touched on in the last episode. I've had a comment on that previous episode that's stated about introducing passengers and thinking of around it being a good idea and a good way we could put it in, and it works around the idea that I discussed about having the northern cargo hub up here near Mossley. Now if we're coming up near Mossley, I think what I'd like to do is place it halfway between Silsden and Mossley here, where we have this flat area. I think that makes a lot of sense. So what I want to aim for today is to bring the main cargo line up and set up the next cargo hub here. And then in the next episode, then we can sort of start moving into connecting all of this. And I'm in two minds here whether to have a cargo tram system delivering from this cargo hub here. But maybe out to Soham and Sherborne, we have a smaller cargo hub. We have one train, maybe a cargo train from the hub, delivering to these two towns, because we are going to have to find a way of bringing some of this infrastructure in here as well. But then the idea that was given in the comments was to use this station here as a bit of a passenger hub as well, and have a passenger link between Salcombe over here, Mossley, Silsden and Sherborne, with then maybe just a bus connection from Soham. That might make sense from there. But for today, yeah, what I want to do is get this cargo hub in. And I've been having a quick look here at how I'm going to do it. So we've got the route split here around the station down at Hetton. So I think what I was looking at originally was taking it up past this machines factory. But when you look into it here, it's very steep and we're going to be coming slowly out of this station. And I think it's just going to be too much of an incline up through there. You can see how steep that is. So I think what we're going to look at instead is to go through this valley just to the left hand side of the coal mine here, and then cut through this mountain here, and then round the right hand side of here and down here. So that's the plan. That's what I want to look for. We are going to go for this high speed 200 just so that when we eventually upgrade the trains on here we can aim for that. I've just been on the workshop before loading up this time to have a quick look at some bridge mods as well, because I think coming through here I notice as we curve around here we're probably going to end up with some kind of bridge, and then we're going to be tunnelling up through the mountain. Then we might have to have some kind of bridge through here just down there. So I only had the vanilla mods installed at the moment, so I wanted to get us ahead from there. So if I look in front now where we want to go, we want to come down the left hand side of this road. So what I like to do is place a little bit of a marker. So I think if we go through here, somewhere here, and we make this flat, and we connect to the end of there. It's not liking that at all, is it? So if we come through here, take this back end and we start heading down then. And we're aiming for that piece of track there. So if we grab the end of our track here, we can bring it down a little bit more. It's actually quite a steep hill this, but then if we go to bridges, as I said, we've got a few now. This is the one I've been looking at because I like the way that the green blends in with the trees here. That looks like it's good. You can see here I've downloaded a few. I only had the suspension bridge, the stone bridge in this before as I was having a look at it, so I think we've done the right thing by adding another bridge in here. And then if we come down, I don't want it to be too long, this one, because I'm conscious that we are going to have one through the valley, but we are going maximum down rate here, so I guess we have to agree with that for now. If I was just to connect that in, will it do it through the road? It won't, no. But it does give us a nice little bit of a snake, which means what we need to do is just cut that back a little bit. Start heading down, find somewhere where we can come through the road. Not like that, because it's going to raise it up. What we're going to need to do here is get rid of all of this road. And we can put it back down after, that's not a problem. But we want a nice smooth curve out. And what I want here is I'm going to stick close to the road, so I want to use the right hand track. I will just place in, or I'll tell you what I'll do actually before it completely ruins my day. I'll take this bridge up to here as well, so I can plan this road underneath. It's not going to shout at me then. I think what I'll do is I'll bring it to here, because that's got a wonky right angle on it anyway there. But then if I bring this bridge in, this road in even, it takes us to there. And then we'll upgrade that piece of road there. Just to make it blend in a little bit more than anything. There we go. Okay, so then from now what I need to be doing is to have a look at where does this go. We'll bring this one round again for now. I wasn't planning on actually double tracking as I go here, but it sort of makes sense, doesn't it? But I want to make sure I've got the right hand side selected. You can see that the game is still running in the background. I've allowed that just because of the sheer amount of money this is probably going to cost. We are up to 91 million now. What do we want through this valley? I don't want to just keep using the same kind of bridge. That's quite slick, isn't it? Quite sleek as well, but I don't like the fact that there's no railings on the side. What do we have here? I quite like that, actually. That's the one. That's the one there, that nice kind of brown sort of fits in with the farmland around it. What I do want to do is just get up onto the edge of this hillside here. There we go. And hopefully bring this one in. One field will be removed. I wonder why it's removing it this time, but it didn't before. Why didn't it remove it with the other side of the track? So if I go... If I go to there, it won't remove it. Go to there, it doesn't remove it. There we go, and we can keep the fields. I'd much rather do that. We're keeping the speed up all the way through here as well. There we go. So now what we're sort of looking for is, I want to head sort of this direction. So what I might do is find with the contour lines here, where is the top of this hill? It looks like the top of the hill is all of this bit here. Looks like it's all sort of one levelish, but we're looking at this area. And that gives us a straight run to there as well. So as long as we can get it to around about here somewhere. So if I drag it back this way, down, and we want to come down to here, don't we? It's that inside line that I'm after. That's going to take it way out on the curve there. Okay, so what I need to do is keep the speed up. 124 is the max. I want the tightest curve with the 124, which is going to be this. That does look like it runs us there or thereabouts in line with where we wanted to go. Now what I want to do is run this up to the base of the hill where we were just. And we are obviously going to tunnel through underneath here. There's no way we're getting around doing that. But now if we come to the left a little bit, there we go. That should work out much better. Now we want the left-hand track now, all the way up to meet it. Cool, we are still on a pretty steep hill now. I'm hoping now that we can begin to level off and come down there. You can see this is what I wanted to try and avoid actually, it's putting us on a hill. So if we were to look at where we want to head, and we want to be heading down this slope eventually, I'm not sure exactly, but the station's going to be somewhere in the middle here, so we want to be heading to here. We would want this to be coming up this hill, but again you can see the hills are quite drastic here too. But if we were to add that little tunnel in there, just cutting through that bit of a hillside there, and then we were to add that to probably the right-hand side here, is that going to enable us to just tunnel under the road? Oh no, it is actually giving us a bridge over. You know, I quite like that though. Going over the canopies of the trees here. I didn't realise there's another dip here. If I was to run this with this green again, it's pretty much invisible, isn't it? I'm going to take that. I'm going to take that all the way down here. We do drop to 112. I've not got too much of an issue with that, if I'm honest. Yeah, I do like that. What I don't want to do is have to tunnel all the way through this bulk of the land, you know. I like to see the trains. And then before we finish this bit now, I want to have a look at exactly where we want to put this station. So what I do want to do is go for a cargo station. And at this end of the world, it is going to be a terminus, isn't it? But I do want a train, potentially, that's going to go up to Sherborne. We did say, didn't we? So if we go for now, we go for a 2-track. Do we go for 2-track? I'm going to make this big. 320, so we never have to come back and look at it again. You can see we're cutting away at the terrain here already. I want it to be quite straight, and I actually want this the other side so that I can put on the distribution hub as usual. So maybe we actually add that in first. I think that's probably going to make a bit more sense, isn't it? We only need the width of this. We are going to say 1 for 1, and it's this wide. So if we look at where's about the central point for where we want it, I would say, you know what, that's not too shabby there. The roads here can all be adjusted, don't forget. If that was the central point, then what I would want then is the train station to be somewhat attached to there like this. I think that makes sense to me. We'll go with that for now. And then what I do want to do is make sure that that terrain's nice and flat around the area. Because around this area, I don't want all of this shaping into the landscape. I know it's going to do it here a little bit, isn't it? But oh my gosh, I did not mean that to happen. I forgot I had the brush on really strong there. We'll pull that back. I do want a little bit of a groove through there that we might have to take out that road, as I said. I think we'll do that now. And then we can have a nice bridge on the road over here. But then if we smoothen that, that is not what I was after either. Flatten. I want to flatten it to this level, don't I? That's what I'm after. Sort of. Not quite that drastic. I keep forgetting how strong these tools are. If I was to pull that down now, there we go. What we are going to have to do is knock these back a little bit to give us that room to curve around. And I want the inside track actually here, just so we get the tightest angle done first. 124 and it snakes down and through. We'll take that. We will take that. Just because it looks nice. No other reason. There we go, we are connected there. Okay, now let's play with this landscape a little bit. Okay, so what I was hoping for here was... It's not going to do it, is I'm trying to dig out here underneath the track. But it still doesn't matter that we can... That's actually quite a nice, strange looking area, isn't it? I think I'm going to keep that in. But we are going to want to bridge over this. So from here now, if I come across here, what's that going to do? Well, we don't want it to do that, do we? We're going to want to lift that up. Something like that looks quite cool. I like that, actually. We could have that in the same green as the railway bridge that we had, but I actually... Ooh. That might be the one, even. We definitely don't want that. Oh, actually, I was thinking that was going to give me a suspension bridge, but it's too low, isn't it? It's too low. That looks much better. I think we're going to go for that fixed girder bridge. And then to make it fit in, We will upgrade these roads as well. All the way down to the town. Perfect. Even though we'll probably be changing those, as we said. Now, what I need to do up here, we're going to hit double one again to get rid of that. What I did find is some of these extra sort of buildings here, and I'm pretty certain that this front corner here, we're not going to be adding anything to. The main building, we can actually get rid of these buildings here. And we've got some different bits and bobs here. You can see like rail yard buildings and things. That one went in absolutely the wrong place. This is another mod that I've recently downloaded as well. But what I do want is the station main building. There's a large main building, which is this one. That's a little bit too close. But yes, I think what I'm going to do is wipe that. Because, as I said before, we can actually move any of this stuff that we're after. These roads here, we can get rid of that. And we're probably going to anyway to make it a little bit more efficient later on down the road. But for now, I kind of like the idea of adding a few of these extra bits in. I'm still trying to see what a lot of them are. That looks cool there. They also come with these where we can have a selection. If you see this one here, put some doors on the front. And we can have some that are bricked up like so. And then this one on the end here, fake shed walls. We've got a few different varieties, and I'll probably have a play around in between off camera and have a look at these, but we've got extra connections here for what can go in these spaces and things. I might have a play around and move this about a little bit later. This side for now I want to keep free. As I said, just in case we do run a delivery train. I think Silsden's going to be fine by either truck or maybe tram to both Silsden and Mossley. We might do that as a one loop. It goes to Silsden, comes back, picks up, goes to Mossley. Salcombe, I'm not too sure what to do with Salcombe. We could have a long distance tram maybe, or we maybe have a train route there that comes in. So maybe we will end up using this front corner here. Not too sure yet. We'll have a look. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. What would probably be the best idea for that. I'm not too sure actually. Hi everyone, I cut the original end off to this video as I wasn't happy with what we came up with, but I spent a little bit of time afterwards creating this little masterpiece here. I'm really happy with this. As you can see, I've added loads of assets, restructured the train station a little bit, and also added some detail over to the cargo hub here. Let me know what you think down below. After I finished this, all I did is made sure that the tram routes into the two joining towns both were connected and all up and running and working. I connected in the train line, as you can see here now on the main cargo route. We have this connected in, it comes down and stops. On the main line now, it comes all the way up here to Mossley, before then it's Hetton, and after Hetton, we did have to split it down at Hetton here, because we had the two separate stations. You can see both of these now are up and running with goods flowing to and from. But we now have the main cargo hub connected up, and Mossley and Silsden both receiving deliveries. I'm not sure yet whether they have delivered any goods. It doesn't look like it just yet, but those are now well and truly on the way. We can see here that at Silsden's requiring fuel and Mossley construction materials. So if we go down to the construction materials plant here, we can see that we've got Mossley here earmarked for some deliveries, and then down at the fuel refinery we should have hopefully Silsden up and running. We do. So now it's just a case of waiting for those materials to make their way up there. But that is where we're going to leave this one for today, guys. As always, thanks a lot for joining me.